like to call to order today's meeting of the Town of Rome Community Development Authority agenda. Today is Thursday, March 2nd, 2023. It is 3:00 p.m. Could I get a roll call from my left, please?
Dramati here.
Asdell here.
Capel here.
Evenson here.
Cole here.
Cheryl did ask to be excused. I mean, Cheryl.
Sharon
asked to be
is
excused.
excused, and Jeff Williams is excused as well. Okay, number 3 then, certify posting of the meeting.
I can certify that on Monday, February 27th, the agenda for today's CDA meeting, Thursday, March 2nd, was emailed to the Wisconsin Tribune at 3:30, posted at the Rome Town Hall at 3:35, posted at the Quick Trip at 4 p.m., and posted at the Nakusa Port Edward State Bank at 3:55.
Thank you. Today's agenda, could we get that approval, please?
I'll move.
Second.
Oh, thank you, all in favor?
Aye.
So moved, thank you. Citizen comments?
No comment cards received.
Thank you. We'll go into then reports. Jamie, the Adams County Economic Development.
So from the last report that Derek had provided to the county board, he had shared that there are currently 4 loans that have been provided out by the Adams County Economic Development Revolving Loan Fund. And that means that they've lent over $800,000 to local businesses. I believe 3 of those 4 are Town of Rome businesses. So, and that they still have approximately $175,000 available to lend. And he also shared that April 25th, the Adams Friendship School District will be doing its 2nd annual Workforce Professionalism Day. This is when they go into the high school and they offer free haircuts, free wardrobe dressing. They do mock interviews. They do resume tips, and so they'll be taking part of that day on April 25th.
That's very nice.
I have some questions for Jamie, please. The loans that they currently have to the Town of Rome, are those for existing businesses, potentially new businesses?
It's a mix.
It is a mix. So are you able to share what they were for? Expansions, new adventures?
Again, a mix of expansions and new.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Jamie. But can I have you continue on then with Parks and Rec?
Parks and Rec did share at the last town board meeting a schedule to continue the construction of the band shell and pavilion. So that'll start the 3rd week of April unless we would get a truly early spring. So if anyone would like to see that, otherwise it is part of the town board packet. So we've had a meeting with all of the contractors and are proceeding. And the school district now has a draft copy of the MOU to have a disc golf course licensing agreement. Thank you. Licensing agreement for the disc golf course on their property just down the road here on Alpine. So Parks and Rec has reviewed that, and it's now being shared with the school district, and then it will come back to town board for approval, provided we don't make substantial changes.
Great.
I have some questions for Jamie. I noticed there was a subcommittee meeting for Parks and Rec yesterday regarding the kayak launch, the new kayak launch. Was that regarding like installation? When might that happen?
Yep, so that Walden Park project is growing because through 14 Mile with Dave Treveau, there's an opportunity to maybe make that a example site for shoreline plantings. And we will be working with Dave to do a grant to the DNR. That shoreline planting, we'd like to do a product that hasn't been used before. It's a mat that rolls out, and it would have some like pavers underneath it, and we have the potential to make that a larger project than just the installation of the kayak launch. So we thought it would be best to have a group meet to kind of dig deep into that. So
Will that delay the installation of the launch in any way?
it shouldn't delay the installation. It might make it unavailable for a period of time when we are doing that. We'll have to do some excavating there on the hill to rough it up so the mats can be laid. and then they'll have to be watered for a period of time, but
Okay, then a question I had, also is that currently when developers are putting in new projects, you collect, impact fees. So can any of those impact fees be used towards those projects?
potentially, yep. I mean, the impact fees have gone into parks, so
Parks.
not into the parks budget. They have not gone into Derek Hughes because Derek Hughes.
I
is
understand
mostly
that, that's,
but
right,
Yeah, there's a potential that it could go into parks, into other parks projects.
okay, thank you.
One thing, in working with Solitude, as far as shoreline restoration, they have a product they call SOX, and we're looking at it for various shoreline around all the lakes. I'll send the information on to you guys at the Parks and Rec, because it's a whole different process. It's one that they've been working on for 26 years, and it lasts quite a long time, but we're actually looking at it for LCPOA shoreline as well.
Is it a planting?
You can plant in it. Basically, it's a SOX. It comes under, it goes over, it keeps the muskrats out, it keeps the wash out, and then you can plant on top of it. And you can extend the shoreline, you can actually form the shoreline off of it. It's a neat system, and I'll get you the information on it.
Thank you, Jamie.
All right, thank you, Jamie. Connect Communities then. I know I didn't do anything extra besides the university this last month, so I have nothing.
No, other than the, Erin, which was included as part of your packet, everyone got a copy of her presentation from the last meeting.
Okay. Alrighty, then Planning Commission. Lori, would you be able to, have anything on that for us?
Nothing really at this time to really share.
I'd only mention that the Plan Commission and Town Board did make a change to residential zoning regarding roof pitch, because we've had some requests about lowering that roof pitch, and we did make that change to 312 instead of 412.
Only for certain districts, yes.
Yes,
Forgot
only
about
for
that one. I thought we covered that already, but it has been a while since we met, so I forget we meet once a month here.
And then we also did an amendment to zoning code regarding the accessory structures, which Bill's been providing some updates that came through the subcommittee, but those added definitions allowances are now part of code. So, and upcoming for Plan Commission, the Plan Commission had asked to see, it's just some draft language regarding the number of camping units, specifically to R2 zoning, where there are allowed 2, and some potential amendments to language within multifamily residential, and I think that just cleans up definition.
And I would just add one thing for the accessory structures. That is also only for certain districts.
Yes,
Certain
yes.
residential districts.
All right, thank you. Bill, anything on the Alcohol Beverage Licensing Review Committee?
No, there was no meeting. However, the board has taken an action to approach the town of Saratoga for additional license.
And we'll be on Saratoga's agenda on March 15th.
Excellent. Excellent, thank you. Utilities, Jamie?
I don't have an update there.
All right. The Joint Plan and CDA Subcommittee, Bill?
There's some handouts on your desk this evening. One of them is the changes that we are recommending to the 10-year comprehensive plan. And the other two are the maps that we are recommending changes to for future land use. I think that's probably, the maps are probably, in my opinion, the most important. What we've tried to do is to consolidate growth, future growth, especially for housing. And we actually made it adjacent to existing housing areas. However, in the grander scheme of things, the lot sizes are much larger and not really, you're not gonna see like a small subdivision pop up in those areas if they stick to the plan, if they stick to the recommendation. The other thing that we did is change everything, just about everything north of Akron Drive to outdoor recreation as opposed to just forestry. and that will preserve the trails. That's the cross hatching, the blue cross hatching.
This is the new proposed one.
That is the proposed map.
They're essentially the same. One is us doing it, the other one is the rough draw from North Central Wisconsin Regional Planning Commission. So they are similar. I kinda like our rough draw better. I think it makes it it highlights it a little bit
Highlights
better.
the changes that are being
Yeah.
suggested.
Yep, but this is not approved. Plan Commission did make a motion to forward the changes to North Central. They'll make the changes and then it has to go through a statutory process with a public hearing. That'll come back to Plan Commission before those changes would actually come to fruition.
So I just wanted to give you the information that's in the process right now.
the
And hopefully that
subcommittee-
was our last meeting.
Yes, the subcommittee, 9 months.
Nice, though. That's nice.
Yes, good job.
It went faster than I thought it would.
The only comment I would make is on page, we did have a chance to comment on this at the Plan Commission, the last Plan Commission meeting. The only other comment is if you had any, I would suggest, you know, if as a CDA member, bring those forward too. I mean, to Jamie, before it does go to North Central Regional Planning Commission.
Already is at North Central, I believe.
The change, to get amended, it is
Yeah.
there, the changes are up there, but if they're.
It's gonna be coming back
It
though,
still
for
has
one
to go
more.
through a public hearing process, so it
Right.
still can be amended.
Correct,
And everybody in the CDA had a kick at this already.
true. But if you
So-
have any other comments, reading through it, you can still bring
Right.
it
Yes, you can.
at the public hearing.
All right, then, the grant subcommittee, Carl.
Yeah, we didn't have much going this month, so meetings next week.
Yeah, that sounds right, but we did get in our application for the Vibrant Spaces grant that was turned in. It'll be a couple months before we hear, but that was submitted.
Excellent. Rome Town Center update?
Market Boutique has been working on their space. If you've seen some social media, they plan to open in April. So that's upcoming. And then obviously we have the 2 offers that are on the agenda today. And my understanding, it's not reflected in land records yet, but my understanding is Trade Show Logistics has sold.
All right, thank you. Jackie, you got Sand Valley for us, and welcome back.
Oh, thank you. Well, I have been gone, so I know the pond hockey tournament was a great success, and I think that will continue to grow, and it's Sand Valley's intention to incorporate more of the town in that pond hockey tournament to make this a town-wide event. It was just started at Sand Valley, but hoping to grow into a full community event that the other businesses can benefit from as well. This weekend, they have a James Beard dinner event going on. These are chefs brought in, like James Beard Award-winning chefs, and they're doing demonstrations and cooking, and a limited number of tickets were sold for that. It's more of an intimate, hands-on workshop type of event, but that's happening this weekend. They are starting to look for junior caddies, and they had something on social media about opportunities for junior caddies to come to orientations March 7th and March 12th at Sand Valley. So I think we all pretty much know the benefit of that program with the junior caddies and opportunities for them to grow personally, earn money, and possibly the Evans Scholarship Program. So if you know a junior that might be wanting to do that, my grandson wants to do it. So anyway, I might have a grandson living with me partially this summer. So that's what I know that's happening. As far as land and construction, to be honest, I just got back today. I didn't drive over there, so I'll probably be as shocked. I've heard about the sand hills. I saw that on social media. These sand mountain hills, whatever they've kind of been described as by different people, that's just sand being moved around while they're building a pond. so that sand will move and go back into more of a landscape format. It's not just gonna be a big old pile of sand. So, so that's about all I can update right now from Sand Valley, but I will get over there and get back in the groove of things and get better information for next time.
Awesome, thank you. All right, well then the CDA beautification project, Jackie and Lori.
I think that, now we'll jump into it more. We did, I see, get the approval of the town for the mural, and so now we can get together for a call for artists on that. And then, just from traveling, I think that helps to get some new ideas. I brought back with me some ideas on things that I think might, be something we could look at for that committee. So I think now that it seems like maybe spring is coming, we can get going on it and get that happening, yeah.
Focus on one.
One project at a time. No, I'm all for one project at a time, but it's good to have positive attitude about other projects.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
We'll talk more about after we're done with our closed session, about the feedback about changing our signage, so.
all right, well, thank you. Well, then number 7, approval of the February 2nd, 2023 meeting minutes.
Motion to approve?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion carried, thank you. Alrighty then. So, the Community Development Authority may go into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statute section 19.85 subsection 1 subsection E for deliberating or negotiating the purchase of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining. A, offer to purchase a 1.69 acres, currently a part of parcel number 030-00654-0000 in the Rome Town Center, and B, offer to purchase a 4.5 acre, currently a part of, number 030-00656-0005 in Rome Town Center.
I'll make a motion that we go into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statute section 1985-1E.
Second?
All in favor?
Oh, you have to take a roll.
We'll take a roll call.
Yep.
Roll call from my left then, please.
Jamadi, yes.
Hasdall, yes?
Capel, yes.
Stevenson, yes.
Cole, yes.
So we'll exit this room, we'll go into the other office for the closed session. As a friendly reminder, the camera stays live and the mics stay live in this room. It'll be a little while, yeah.
I am.
Next apartment going up, huh?
Yeah, getting ready to get going. Yeah, I think they just poured the last building today, so we got all 3 foundations in. And I think today we just finished all the walls for all 3 buildings, first and second floor, so, yeah. we'll be good.
Keeping you quite busy, huh?
Yeah, keeps them going. So
Is
actually,
that your last one, or is there more?
so I like to put in there for now. You know, 'cause you got the ratio in here of businesses to apartments, so until my business is going.
Oh, can you have more property to do another?
That's what they're going in the closed section. I was looking at, by that 1.6 behind us for future,
Oh, directly behind,
directly behind me.
and then the street would go on the front of that property?
Yeah, and then if, you know, it's gonna take a long time, I know, for them to get that ratio up in here.
But then this street would go through and those apartments would front another street.
Yeah, we continue our, yeah, we could continue our driveway right
But what,
To
isn't there
those-
plans for a street to come through between you and the street behind you?
Not right there, I don't think. I think it might be just behind that or something like that. I can't remember how that, so let's look at that big
Do
picture.
you know what the other 4.5 acres is?
No, I was curious, about that.
I was curious about the 1.69 issue, since it don't
I
matter.
just answered that question.
It don't matter.
Yeah, it'll be a while, I think, before, I mean, they have to put a lot of businesses in here to get that ratio up. It's way under.
I don't know why they're worried about that sign right now, it's not full yet.
Yeah, I don't, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, then in the meantime, I can at least put picnic tables or something back there for the apartments or whatever. That would actually be buildable, again, I think
So
that's.
it'll give you another 24 back there, 2 more 12s?
1.69 would only do another 12, I think, yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't be enough for another set, or another 20. Another 12 would be enough. Suppose you're anxious to get chomping at the bit, huh?
yeah, I'm broke.
Get going,
Yeah,
get some money flowing.
for us, it's feast or famine. I mean, we have a long off-season.
Yeah, yeah, totally dependent on weather, period, yeah.
And no matter what, you're still down for 5 months.
Yeah, it's a long time.
So,
That's a long time.
should have built apartment buildings instead. Fully rented?
Yeah, I mean, we got some move outs and stuff, but I got people coming in as well. I mean, it was fully rented, but actually I ended up with like 3 elderly people that ended up with some issues. So they had to move out, the doctor said,
That's understandable. Well,
They
if
can't-
you're going to assisted living, what can you do?
yeah, I feel sorry for them.
Yeah, I wonder what the other 4 might, and they don't tell you where, I hate it when they give.
Yeah, well, that's over there, that's the next, so behind us and over is that section. If you look up on the.
You in over.
Yeah, down, so down our street down there, what do you call it? Not Geneva Trail, but Timber,
Oh, with your businesses?
yeah, if you continue that down, where they're gonna put the new street.
That's what the 4.5
That,
is?
in there then, from that street, it would be, what, going south, south this way and then west, that big chunk in there.
That's a pretty big chunk.
Well, that's huge, that's like 40 acres, 40-some acres. Pardon me? Yeah, that's what I was gonna go talk to Al about that, see who bought that, yeah, my.
I know Sam Hadley put it out there, but they told him sold already.
Really?
They told full price offer.
No kidding.
Told me already had accepted offer.
Oh, wow, yeah, my heating, they told me, so that was several weeks ago, so yeah, I was curious. I just haven't had time to stop by, Al and see who bought that.
What are they gonna do with it?
I was gonna say, it's like a big building, man. Maybe it was just sitting there for something, I don't know.
Go to storage.
Pretty big. I don't know, looks like there's somebody that's gonna do something. Yeah, I just saw all that lumber and stuff that's covered up. I don't know if that's.
That was behind Trade Show Lunches.
Yeah, it's all just sitting there, I don't know.
I drove there yesterday, I'm like, how do we get to that parcel?
Yeah, it's been there a long time.
To it, except through Trade Show Lunches.
Yeah, I'm not sure where or how that, yeah, I don't know how that works.
Because they had a 5-acre piece of property or something, I mean, they had a big piece of property. They did it, well, right next one.
Yeah, once the side road goes, maybe it goes around there or whatever.
Yeah, but you can't get to that pile of wood. It's like, what the hell's going on back there?
Yeah,
And it's like,
and it's been there a long time.
you can't get to it unless you go through Trade Show Lunches. So,
Yeah, I don't know, unless do something like that.
Anyways, yeah, look through that, just let me know on that media thing, and we'll get you those couple items.
Yeah, I wonder what
Items
people want.
tomorrow, so.
I mean, I know that for
Alright,
radio,
thanks, everything.
they got 7.5 acres up front.
Yeah. I haven't heard, is that supposed to,
All of
supposed
it
to
was
be going?
planned. The problem is, they sold off the business park really poorly, just like slicks that. You know, you used all of your property. I sort of used all of mine, I got one more section left.
Mhm.
Some of these people left big pieces of property that they're not ready to actually do it.
Doing anything with, yeah.
I mean, you have a lot next to this place that have that should have been broken into 4 lots. You could have 4 businesses there.
Yeah,
Now you only have 2.
yeah.
I mean, I got 4.5 acres too, but I've used most of it. The only piece I have left is a little bit up on the hill.
Just a little junk, huh?
Yeah, between the golf course, it was designed to put in another golf course.
Oh, I see.
So there's like 110 feet swath up to the, but I ain't never doing another one. I ain't doing nothing again. I'm waiting for the off, and I'll go cut grass and sand that way part-time.
Mhm.
I don't know why they got going close to a site, it's 5,000, I look at.
Yeah, that's just part of the procedure.
It's 5,000 acre, no, it was $7,800. I think that's pretty fair for one point.
Yeah. Actually, really,
Yeah, 5,000 an acre, you really can't complain, nobody can. Considering decades ago, they wanted 10,000 an acre. I hate these closed door things, they go back and forth over seams. You could do that at the end of the agenda. Those apartments are just on crawl spaces, huh?
Yeah, yep.
I'm just on a slab. Do they have washer and dryer in unit?
Full-size washers and dryers.
In unit, huh?
In-
Oh, so you
in
really don't,
units,
so
yeah.
you really don't need a basement for nothing?
No, it's really, the first ones we did, we had the furnaces down, hanging off the ceilings in the crawl space. The second set we did, and we actually put them next to the washer and dryer, the furnace units next to the washer and dryer, in a big closet,
Oh,
in the living, between the living and kitchen. So, only thing that was going down, and the second set was just some ductwork or whatever. And now the third set here, same thing, we're not gonna use the basement for, furnaces in this one either. The only thing that'll be down there will be water heaters, I think. So that's how we got down on the second set, where we just stuck water heaters down there. Yeah, other than that, they're just,
so some of those 3 bedrooms now, are they also just 2?
oh, just two, yeah.
2 bedrooms?
2 bedroom, 1 bath, yeah.
2 bedroom, 1 bath?
Mhm.
No 3 bedrooms yet, huh? I heard you were building some bigger ones in the next,
We had thought about it, let's put it that way.
3 bedroom, 1.5 bath. And you get more families with kids.
Yeah, yeah. I actually kinda like the way we got it right now. 'Cause most of the time we end up with just 1 to 2 people, which I really like.
Yeah.
It's nice and quiet, yeah. I would say over, yeah, probably over half, or just 1 to 2. I only have 2 apartments with more than 2 people in there. I was 24.
Did you
Yeah.
do apartments before this, was this?
No, I haven't had any
Later in
kind of
life, you got
income
into it.
property. I had income property when I was really young, like when I lived in Chicago. But it was nothing like this, small, 2 flats.
I had some too, but I got sick of kind.
Yeah, and that's the thing, you gotta make sure you get a good group in this way, try to make these a little more upscale, so get good people.
got a certain, so.
I'm actually one that I actually don't care, cause basically we're changing our whole thing. Yeah, I'm Plato Construction right now, which is what's up there, but I'm not doing houses, we stopped in 2021, that was the last two houses.
Yeah, it's hard.
And that's it, so really everything's just changing, it's gonna be.
So in all actuality, you really wouldn't care if they asked you to take your sign down.
No, it's Geneva Apartments is what it's gonna be. And I'm gonna end up with a sign, I gotta get one up to sign make that will stick out in front of the apartments there. And really, when you're blowing by 60 miles an hour, I don't know. It's just seems. But the bottom line is, it's the wrong name that's on there right now.
I mean, you don't really want people walking in trying to, you don't want a side shop really. I mean,
No.
this is Advantage Plumbing really, and the only people that go to Advantage Plumbing are contractors.
Yeah.
He doesn't want some homeowner going in there.
Yeah.
And I go in there, but he's doing my commercial job or my
Yeah, I was
house.
gonna say, it doesn't seem like he gets a lot of walking.
I don't think he gets any, because he won't work on anything unless he installs.
Mm-hmm.
He did both mine and my house. Yeah, well, let's get spring here, to be open by April 1st.
Yeah, I bet you would. Yeah, quick spring would be really nice.
After last spring,
Yeah.
it wasn't too good. Last year wasn't good, period.
Yeah, when it just gets longer, the older I get, I can't stand it.
We even got out of here a little bit this year twice, but that's still not. We were in Nashville for New Year's.
Oh, is that right?
And then we just got off a cruise end of January.
Mm-hmm.
That's 10 days, couple of days down south, and then we got on a cruise ship, but, school starts sending me truancy letters because my kids miss. Not that they're sick, but 10 days.
That's funny.
You know, the truancy letters. Hey, if you get 10 days, by law, they have to send it.
Is that right? That's how
I
it
don't
works.
even respond to them. I mean, they're straight A students. It's not, if you actually miss more than 10 days, you have to be, you have to have like a medical note to the school.
Uh,
Tell me taking the kids on vacation at the end of January. It's really nice. Having a family. Just took a vacation for Christmas. Or they went on vacation for it.
mm-hmm.
So end of January. It's like a senior citizen ground.
Yeah, I was gonna say nobody around, yeah,
There's
all
no
that,
kids running around.
yeah,
None.
yeah. That'd be nice to be.
Totally different.
People, really.
I mean, because everybody just got back from school on January 2nd. And then you transit home and get back to school 3 weeks into start,
Mm-hmm.
except us.
Yeah, you gotta do what works for you, right? Like that.
What if the other one's the ATV club?
It might be, I thought she said something like that before, that they were gonna be building back there.
Because I remember
Swear that's what she told me.
this club committee, they were, one of the stipulations was you had to have a facility for quenching khaki at your house.
Mhm.
And I remember them saying that, showing them football, but they had like first right of refusal on this piece of that one for 4.5 acres.
Yeah, that's why, I thought I remember her saying that, this was months ago when I was talking about my building around when I was asking if anything else was happening, I swear she said something about this building in there. And I thought she said it had something to do with one of those clubs, ski club.
Maybe the ATV club.
Something.
But
I can't tell you what I did yesterday, so. Well, those are right next door. right next to his shop. That's his, that cleared off. Well, they just sold this building. They sold the property too. Oh, I didn't know that. I assumed he was gonna build that there. Oh, I assumed he was building that, you know. Oh, really? I did not know that, yeah, cause he cleared out the trees and everything, so I was like, okay, he was selling that. And they were, I didn't know that. Yeah. Huh. Okay. Huh. Mhm. Huh. Yeah, I didn't know that.
When you find out, let me know.
Yeah,
Cause he had his woodworking shop and a huge storage area.
yeah.
Yeah. Giant woodworking shop. Yeah, planers and everything.
Huh.
Building was priced right.
Yeah, I didn't see the one from it.
It was priced at $650.
Oh, that go, yeah, okay. Yeah, and that's what I think maybe you guys said this one for 6 or something like that. Yeah,
Couldn't build it for that now.
yeah, I mean, that's a big building.
I thought about it, I was like, what am I gonna do with it? I know, my wife's building that, that's, that tapped us out a little bit. Just everything went over budget.
Yeah, always does.
Yeah,
Especially last year and year before, when I was,
I know.
lumber prices were ridiculous. Yeah. From what we purchased so far this year to last time was like night and day. And it's now back to what it was when we did the first set. Yeah, last year was absurd.
That'd be nice building all those walls inside and going to that.
Actually, it worked out great, yeah. I said he literally is finishing up today, I think, so, yeah, it worked out.
Well, if you measure them right, we should all fit together, huh?
Yeah.
Just like a Lego.
Well, he does it, he went to school for things. He does it all on CAD. So actually, we just run up these giant sheets and all the studs, all the lengths are on there. It's just like a puzzle, you just look at the plan, this is what I get cut at, you just,
Nice
Yeah.
flat table to work on, I see.
Yeah, put a big rolling table in there, and it goes from like that counter to here, and you build a wall on it, and put another wall on top of that wall, and you get 3 of them on there, you roll it out, pick it up the lift truck, go stack it, roll it back in. Yeah. Yeah, no, it worked out nicely.
You have to find another project after this building up.
Yeah, well, I think I got something else going here, we'll see how I'll take a year sabbatical and do something else. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
I could use a little garage built up as golf course. That's just like, that's like nothing, that's just a little
Yeah.
side job.
That's good.
24 by 28. But you know, I'm not allowed a garage on my property.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Really, for your no, I get it. Yeah, you gotta make hay, man. Yeah, yeah, you gotta be there and. Yeah, it's like, man,
It should be packed on the street, both sides parking on a weekend. Anything like that, it's tougher. Anything like that, if it
Yeah.
would be open, I'm
Yeah.
sitting there hoping, I get 4 people to phone call today.
Yeah. Yeah, it's raining and, you know, it's stuff, yeah, it's, ran in it for those numbers, I didn't get diddly. 25 and 30 is what I put in for, I didn't get anything. That's when I was like, what is going on? Cause I was asking around like, okay, what's everybody, you know, what's like the going rate? I'm gonna go a little bit more. Cause I was, needed somebody, even at the, that's when I really was like, this is crazy. That's why I just started shaking my head going, this, we gotta figure something else out, cause people wanna work for that. Man. Not different than when I grew up, I tell you that.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
I mean, we went through guys like crazy.
Like a friggin' dog.
The good ones you get, they really do cost you an arm and a leg is,
Yeah. Yeah, totally different.
yeah, I had skids that operators making over $50 an hour in the snow in the winter. But she got a good guy, two guys, any day of the week.
Just keep it rocking and rolling on.
She, or you can just call his phone, he goes to the job site, gets in the skids turn. He doesn't call you. And when he does call you, you know there's an issue, like something's broken. I'll call you when I'm done plowing, fine. Don't call, you know he's working.
You know, it's good.
You know he's working. You
Yeah.
know, an older guy that was good, but they wanna be paid well too, to get out of bed at
Mm-hmm.
1 in the morning.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the way to go with them.
So, come on, people. I could have negotiated those 2 real estate deals by now.
It's pretty big stuff.
Where you gotta be pretty, you gotta be powerful on the side. You're not gonna give them 4 times what you paid last time for them. I mean,
No, I already got to put all the utilities in yourself. You know, why I wanted the utilities in there. A lot.
I can just imagine, cause what I had to pay to get the utilities to my wife's building was ridiculous.
Yeah. That's right, yeah. Water services.
Yeah, we did my water service in the damn room. Not on the ditch, like you can feel into it. We had to bore all the way underneath the driveways to get there. They put the water line on my street in the road. Now I'm about 18 feet.
Is that right? Wow.
It is so far down when they dig. It's unbelievable.
That is unbelievable.
It is,
Holy crap.
it's well past 12 feet.
Okay.
Because when they were digging,
Pretty sure it's not gonna freeze.
they couldn't believe how deep it was.
No kidding.
It's like they laid the pipe straight, even though the road went like, you know, it's on the highest spot of the road, so it's
Yeah.
like, they put the water line in, never, just kept the same level from the edge, all the way up to me.
Yeah, it's like some guy shot out a laser and kept it level even though the.
Yeah,
Project's
it's
going.
so deep, it's ridiculous.
Wow.
And it's in the middle of the road, so.
Huh.
What, each building has its own septic field then? I mean,
Yeah.
all 3 buildings go into one, right, and the next.
No, no, each building has its own.
So you got 9, you can have 12 septic fields out to that?
Oh, you mean that way? No, well, oh, I see what
Each
you're saying. I
threeplex.
thought you meant,
Each 3.
each complex has its own, yeah, not each building.
Each 3-plex has one, yeah, one system on steroids,
Correct.
basically. 'Cause
Each 12 has
Each
its
12,
own.
because you gotta accommodate for
Yeah.
12 bathrooms.
Yeah.
That's be a pretty nice tank to put in there.
Yeah. Yeah, you can almost put in a little mini sewer system in that sense. If you it's actually like modules, if you put up more buildings, you could actually add on to the modules as you go and stuff, yeah, it's pretty neat stuff.
I'm just going to keep up with the sanitary sewer idea. I think we'll have to hook up to it.
Yeah, I think that's way down the road, I don't know if you were in on that meeting last year.
Oh, yeah, I was.
Oh my God, that sounds like that's way far down the road.
I could see if they did it in the beginning, but, you know,
Yeah, that would make sense.
you don't wanna pay to key into it now, cause you just put in the septic system, you just put in another septic
Yeah,
system.
and for God's sakes, they're talking about all the way down to Saratoga. Holy crap, it's gonna cost us a lot.
So they should have did it in the beginning, and we'd all been keyed into it.
Yeah.
Right from the
I would
get-go.
I would really like that. That's a whole nother set of buildings of properties, you know, and you're eating up in septic buildings. You know, between that.
And I would put it in after the fact and try to make us look into it in 10 years. Well, my wife's septic system probably hasn't even floated in the drain tower yet.
Yeah, probably has that, yeah.
Because we don't allow public restroom there, because I have them at the golf course.
Mhm.
And when I have kids pissing in, you know, I have nice bathrooms at the golf course, same piece of property, just go use it. So with her just being in and washing, she probably hasn't even put 1,000 gallons into the tank yet.
It's probably not even.
Full
Yeah,
enough for
yeah,
1
you're
year.
probably right, I'm sure it's probably not even close.
Tell her to turn around and pump her on to just drain out. I mean, we got like a 5-gallon hot water heater, like just to drain it off from the winter water, because
Huh.
if you don't drain it, it just sits in there.
Yeah. Yeah, but see, septic and maybe stormwater runoff, that's a lot of property you eat up.
Yeah.
These detention ponds. That's a whole load.
I've never driven back into the property. I've seen it from the road. I watched Advantage dig that trench for the fairground tree, right? I was like, holy shit, that's a big pipe.
Yeah.
But I've never actually driven into your back of your buildings at all.
Yeah, detention pond, it takes up a lot of room.
Yeah, mine didn't really affect me though. I just got a couple of them too, but. Footsteps finally.
Did you have to do your blacktop?
Get it done paving.
Oh, okay, same place then.
I saw them do yours. They also did 2 friends of mine driveways. They both were like, no issues. Me, wish I would've stayed with American Asphalt.
Is that right? Yeah.
I have 2 holes, 2 pretty decent sinkholes.
Oh.
And I guess the big difference is, Get It Done likes to lay it in one lift.
Mhm.
I guess if you're good, I talk to people, you're fine. But if you get a low spot in your first, there's no second lift over it. And
it just sits in there.
The water just sits there, you can actually feel it when you walk in the parking lot. I mean, I get into the parking lot, they're at Menards, they're at Walmart, they're everywhere else.
Uh-huh.
But I don't think the paving job was as good as American Asphalt. And price-wise, they were both pretty competitive.
Mhm.
American Asphalt was cheaper. But if the salesman would listen to you when you meet with them, they'd have the right measurements. And the price would go with you. You know, I said, dude, how did you measure this? I told you the exact dimensions. And I mean, if you can do this square footage, right? I mean, how are you coming up? What did you measure?
Yeah.
So after I saw him do yours, and two friends said, awesome, get it done, no issues. They did get it done.
Yeah, it did.
Russ, do you wanna come in and join us for a minute?
Oh, sure.
They did get it done, it took 10 phone calls too. But it's great.
I'm gonna do a little more shopping, because it was pretty expensive second time around. There we go.
gonna have to zip through this.
You stayed.
Yeah, you guys go to the front door after all the other items are on the agenda.
I think we're gonna finish them now.
Okay. Are we ready, Jamie?
We are ready when you're ready.
All right, so the Community Development Authority reserves a right to enter into open session authorized by Wisconsin statute 19.83 subsection 2 to possibly take action from the closed session and continue with the agenda.
I'll make a motion that we return to open session.
Second.
Roll call from my left, please. Or call from my
Jamadi,
left.
yes?
Hazdell, yes?
Capel here. Yes.
Evenson, yes?
Cole, yes.
Thank you. All right, so on the offer to purchase a 1.69 acres currently a part of number 030-00654-0000 in the Rome Town Center.
I'd like to make a motion that we do not accept the offer.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Right, thank you. And on the second offer to purchase a 4.5 acres currently part of number 030-00656-0005 in Rome Town Center.
I'll make a motion that we do not accept the offer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion carried, thank you. Number 12, discussion and possible action on business sign survey results to date in the Rome Town Center.
When we switch rooms, then I forget to bring things back, but. So I did hand out just a memo today, cause we finished this week, but there was 14 surveys that were distributed to the businesses. So the 3 Snow Bandits, Shermalot, and Tenhagen did not receive, they're not on the sign, they didn't receive a survey. And Trade Show Logistics did not receive a survey because of their transition with sale. So 13 surveys were returned. One business did say, whatever option is best for the town, we're good with that. We have no strong feelings one way or the other. Whatever the town picks, we are sure is great. So we had 100% participation. Should we leave the sign as is with the small business signs underneath? You can see that 6 said yes, 7 said no, and then I included the comments of what was on all of the surveys. Then 8 liked the wayfinding signage if the small business signs came down, and 5 did not. 8 would like their signs returned, 5 didn't matter if they got returned, and then 5 to 8 yes or no on if they would get reimbursement, and the cost of the signs ranged from $170 to $300. I would say though that if you didn't want your sign returned, you didn't provide me a cost. You just said no, it didn't matter. So, that was the result of asking the question about the signage.
So the majority would see a change, is what this says.
Yeah, more would like to see the change in signage than the maintenance, but maintaining of what's there.
Yeah.
I would say it's a close margin, but
Yeah.
more voted for the change in signage. And I think the comments are also insightful. I think, some people did say that they have had people that have, used the sign to know where their business is located, the large sign off of State Highway 13. But some felt like it is small, that it's hard to see. And I would say that most of the people that felt comfortable about the switch then didn't make a comment one way or the other.
All right, well, thank you. That'll be something more we have to further.
I think I'd like to just mull this over and place it on the agenda for next time for discussion and
Please.
action.
Is this what you were, yep, Tom's raising his hand.
Yeah, can I come up to the mic?
Please.
Just make sure it's turned on, Tom. I don't think it's turned on right now.
With the amount of businesses that are currently in the business park now, and the spaces that are currently available still left on the sign, what is the real intention of taking up, remaking this sign at this point before the sign is even full, and then adding the additional expense to the town to put signs throughout the whole business park, which then will have to be remade or updated possibly every year or every other year when a business does come in? And how many signs does a business get on these signs that are throughout the business park? And if we do go that route, the big sign that said stay, play, eat, whatever, I think we can, if we're gonna go that route, I think a better middle would be appropriate. I mean, the stay, play, eat, what, it was 4 words there, white on blue or white on black, that I didn't think fit too well. If the signs are gonna come down for the redoing of the posts, then just leave them down. I mean, adding the place they eat, I think, is not the right answer. Maybe just an arrow pointing in. But as we sit now, the sign's not gonna be full for years, because, I mean, whatever just happened, there was a couple of properties that didn't come to fruition now. I mean, we have 1 or 2 places getting ready to build, and there's still a lot of space left on the sign. It's a town sitting on a bunch of money they don't know what to do with, because it's gonna cost a lot of money to reposition signs throughout the whole park. That's my thought. I would leave well enough alone until it does run out. And at that point, evaluate it. But right now, I don't see any reason to take them down and spend money on different signs throughout the park.
Thank you.
The only piece, the one piece why we looked at it now is if we do the recoding of the sides of the post, that would be different eventually if you took that recoding should last us 10 to 15 years, cause it looks like wood grain, but it's really metal. So if you don't take the signs, and I hear what Tom's saying, maybe it would take 10 to 15 years and then you'd have to redo it. I think the reason of looking at it now is because it's gonna cost $20,000 to do that metal coating. So do you do the metal coating where the signs are now, or not do the metal coating? I think that's one of the reasons of looking at it now.
I do understand the reason for looking at it now. The best thing that was done to that sign was taking down the pine tree that blocked the view of the sign. So once the landscaping got removed from underneath the sign itself looks 100% better. If the re-vinyl or upholstery, whatever we're gonna call it, on the post, I'm a business owner in there, I think the sign looks fine just the way it is. I don't think that the tan is that awful of a color, considering the other signs we have throughout the town. I think the sign looks nice. That the main emphasis was getting rid of that overgrown pine tree and the dead bushes underneath the sign really helped improve the look of the sign. So maybe it could be an idea that you table and budget more money when you do need to have the signs, and when we do signs throughout the park, make them standout signs, not just a piece of plywood with a sticker on them that, you know, in 5 or 8 years, they start to go to, you know, start to deteriorate. Put the money and save up, and if we're gonna do signs in there, really go all out on them. And then let's get signage signs on Alpine Drive too, because we have no signs there that direct any businesses into the business park. And if Alpine Drive and Highway 13 are our 2 main access points, why don't we have a sign on Alpine Drive? There never was a sign. So I don't know what the correct answer is. I'm just expressing my opinion that the sign's not full. It looks 1,000% better with the DPW taking down the bushes and the landscaping underneath. That maybe the money could be better spent somewhere else in the business park right now on pickleball courts or anything else that's going on in there. Finish that project before we open up another project in the business park.
Thank you, Tom.
Is there a structural issue with the recoding of the post?
There's not a structural issue. I mean, that the metal that's there now will come down and it'll be new metal. So
But there's no,
the sign is not,
nothing's driving that
no, it's not structurally,
unsound.
no. I did think it was cosmetic. We wanted it to
It's-
more closely match.
It's kind of rusted in some
I
areas.
thought they were just being wrapped with vinyl, am I mistaken on that?
It won't be wrapped, it'll be new. Because what's there, and it's not, it's like, it's metal is what it is. It
The
looks,
coating, like a metal coating,
yeah,
right?
but there's a support structure that's underneath, and the tan, I think it almost looks a little pinkish. Pink will come off, and then it'll look very similar in color to the Derricue sign, to the post on the Derricue sign, which when you're driving by Derricue, that looks like wood, but that's really metal. That's a metal wood look metal post. And again, I think it's cosmetic in nature because we have just been trying to emphasize that as the central business area.
All right, well, how about if we table that, this discussion again for the next meeting? Is everybody okay with that? We put it on the next meeting's agenda and we just kind of talk a little bit more about which directions we can go?
Would it be helpful, so I gave you the combined information, right? Why don't I, before your next meeting, just scan in each individual survey? So you could just, I have them in alpha order, and then you could look through them. I don't know that makes a difference, but sometimes it's just good information, right?
Okay,
Sure,
that'd be great, thank you.
I'll take a look at it.
And everybody still has their budget that was approved for the CDA as well. That money was in there to have those posts rewrapped, correct? Well, it was called rewrapping at the time we approved the budget.
It's in Rome Town Center's budget, it's not in the CDA budget.
Correct,
but yeah.
excuse
Yep,
me, sorry.
Yep, but it is in budget, 20,000 is in budget for that.
All right. Number 13, review, discussion, possible action on the Gateway Overlay District and Rome Town Center Commercial A Sub-District.
Could I suggest, given that it's 4:34 and we have town board at 5, that we would move those next two items to the next agenda?
I agree. Everybody else, everybody good with that?
I think that's a great idea.
Thank you, Jamie. Are we gonna be doing a tour next month? Any suggestions?
Do you think they'll be ready for us over there?
I think so. I can send you her email. Do you mind reaching out to her?
I don't mind reaching out as long as I know how to contact them.
Yep, I'll
What were
send
we talking about?
The boutique,
Yep,
Oh,
the market boutique.
yep.
Alrighty.
No, that'd be fine.
Thank you, Bill. So then the next meeting is April 6th, 2023 at 3:00 PM here, the Rome Municipal Building. And meeting's adjourned.
There's just, on the next agenda, well, in April, there'll be solicitation for board members. Two of them, I
Don't
believe.
miss the meeting.
Two of them.
Don't miss the meeting, yeah.
No, that's, the election is in May.
Okay.
I won't be
Can't
here
miss-
then.
You can't miss either
I
one.
won't be here then. It's not a threat, it's a promise.
So meeting called adjourned 4:35 PM.